She has been afflicted with sleep deprivation, with unwanted noise, with a variety of unpleasant circumstances that were thrust upon her. And how to free ourselves from the reaction to that? Well, the first piece of it is simply to have the awareness that there's a difference between pain and suffering. When Pujya Swamiji said it's about the mind, that the suffering is created by the mind, it's an important and subtle distinction. That doesn't mean that your mind created the fact that the person was locked in the bathroom and the carpenter had to be called. It doesn't mean your mind has created the fact that these people are chanting loudly and it's disturbing your sleep. And the reason that that's an important, even though subtle distinction that I want to make, is because a lot of times what ends up happening is we take this wisdom, we understand it halfway, but we do the best that we can, and it ends up creating this incredible amount of guilt in our own lives and in that which we inflict upon others. You have created your poverty. You have created your cancer. You have created the fact that your husband had an affair and has left you. No. I'm not saying you didn't play a role in it. If you smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day, you can't say that you had nothing to do with your lung cancer. But that's not what his point is. His point is that the suffering is due to the mind. So a quick example. I go out into the woods with a tent. I've gone for camping. I set up my tent in the woods. I crawl into my sleeping bag. The wind is howling, but I love it. I've made a choice. I'm going camping. It's cold, maybe it's raining. Still I love it. I've made a choice. Now, I've lost my money. I've been kicked out of my house. Luckily, a friend was nice enough to let me pitch a tent in their backyard. Now I'm sleeping in a tent in somebody's backyard, and I'm miserable. I didn't choose this. I'm bemoaning the loss of my house. Same exact situation. And what his point when he says that we've created, that the mind is what is binding us, the mind is what's creating this prison, is not that I somehow created this situation and that's why I lost my house and that's why now I'm in a tent. But my response to that, my suffering, where on the one hand, the same situation has brought me joy because I chose it. The other situation, it's brought me suffering because it's somebody's fault that I got foreclosed on my house. It's somebody's fault that I'm in this situation. And so there's suffering. That's what he means by the mind. The mind binds us in how we interpret the world around us. Every single one of us has been in a situation where we have misinterpreted what someone said. We've misinterpreted someone's actions. And we find ourselves really angry or really hurt for a really long time. Until we talk to them and suddenly they say, oh, that wasn't what I meant. And you say, oh my God. And we feel so bad and so stupid for having been so hurt or so angry due to a misunderstanding. That's where the mind binds us. Because you can pretty much assume that if what someone has done has hurt you or made you angry, you've misunderstood it. Because it's never about us. Nobody ever wakes up in the morning and says, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that person really mad. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that person really upset. Nobody plans like that. Everybody's too stuck in their own worlds. Really, this is the ego. The ego is, you've done this to me. No. Nobody has mind to bother about doing something to somebody else, really. We're all so stuck in our own minds. So when he says that, it's our response. That's what he means. The mind can free you or the mind can make you stuck. Now, in your exact situation, how to free myself of this anger? Well, sleep deprivation is an objective state, like wintertime or summertime, or rain or sun or heat or cold, or empty stomach or full stomach. It's a state. There's no subjective quality to it as a good thing or a bad thing. If you had made a decision, it was Mahashivratri, you're a Shiv Bhakt, you had decided, I'm going to stay up all night chanting mantras, you'd be exuberant at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not the sleep deprivation itself. If you had a 2 o'clock in the morning flight to go visit, your beloved across the world, you wouldn't be furious at the stewardess or the gate agent for the fact that the flight took off at 2:30 in the morning. You'd be thrilled. You're getting on a plane. You're going to see the beloved. It's not the actual state of sleep deprivation that has created the anger. It's the lack of control. I didn't choose this. It's not the way I wanted it to be. And the fastest way out of that is to realize that nothing is how we want it to be. Nothing is what we choose. The problem with the Western world and the modern world is it's given us ATMs and it's given us drive-thrus and it's given us order online and it's made us have this idea that somehow everything is at our fingertips. Exactly what you want. Order today, refund tomorrow, return, order something else. I don't have to wait 30 seconds for my meal. It's given us this impression that somehow the world functions according to what button we push on a keyboard, or what we shout into a loudspeaker system, or a microphone system in a drive-thru. It's not how the world works. When we are happy is when we are in alignment with what the world has offered. And so the fastest way out of that anger is to broaden the perspective and to say, wow, what a great lesson. Because the truth of the matter is, nothing is in your hands. These people are chanting at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not what you wanted. All right, well, most of us like the summer. We don't want the winter. Some like the winter. They don't want the summer. That doesn't stop it from coming. Nobody wants to grow old. Doesn't stop it from happening. Nobody wants their kids to grow up. Doesn't stop it from happening. Nothing is in our control. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we're free not only of the anger in this particular situation, but in every situation. The only thing in the entire universe you have control over is your response to the universe. That's it. And so, the faster that you can realize, take a deep breath and just realize, all right, I guess I'm going to be sleep deprived. Those of us who just got back from Kumbh Mela have spent the last 6 weeks sleep deprived. It got so ridiculous. In the Kumbh, they've got loudspeakers that go on all night long. You think chanting in the room next door is something? Try a loudspeaker in your tent with someone theoretically emceeing a program, but every 10 minutes his phone is ringing. There are missing people. There's public service announcements. It got so ridiculous that actually the only thing I could do at one point at about 1:30 in the morning was start recording voice notes on my phone, because I realized nobody's ever going to believe me that it's actually this loud at this hour of the night, this continuously. So I've actually got voice notes on my phone recorded from almost every night. It's all you can do. And then you surrender. And that's where the lesson comes in. It drives you irate. And then you realize no amount of being irate is going to make those people stop it. And I'm here for 6 weeks. And I've got earplugs in, and it doesn't matter. And so my only choice is to be miserable or not to be miserable. That's all that's in my hand. There's nowhere to go. If there were a Hyatt, we would have checked into it. There's nowhere to go. And that's the true thing about our life. There's nowhere to go. Today it's this noise, tomorrow it's something else, day after it's something else. Where are you going to go? And so the sooner that you can just realize the only objectiveness of good and bad is what I've put on. Can I just for a moment simply, non-judgmentally call it sleep deprivation without it having that emotional catch to it? Yeah, I'm sleep deprived, okay. It's also the 3rd of March. Really? Can there be just as much emotional charge to it? Yeah, it's a fact, all right. The walls are white. I'm sleep deprived. Now what? So that's the first part. And if it's okay, just because I know we went long, I'd love to leave it there for now and just move on since we're sort of running out of time.